Welcome back to Muse. It's an Austrian tradition to make gingerbread houses for Christmas. Kurt Gutenbrunner's restaurant, Blaue Gan, is a little bit of Vienna in downtown New York. And this holiday season, pastry chef Matthew Lodes created something special, the great Viennese landmark, St. Stephen's Cathedral.
The beautiful thing about working with ginger is that it very much puts you in the mood of the season. The smell alone just reminds you of being a child again. Sorry for you can't smell it on television.
The house is pretty simple, made with butter, honey, flour, various spices, cardamom, ginger, cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, to give her that nice Christmassy winter flavor.
I used honey as opposed to an American style where you use molasses. Honey's much more traditional Austrian German. It doesn't have that kind of strong, bitter taste that molasses does. A really great thing about coming in here, it's very reminiscent of a Viennese coffee house. You have the newspapers hanging on the wall. We have a bar of all our pastries. We get our coffee from Vienna. So you very much have that feel like you've been transplanted from Vienna. The Schnecken here, it's fantastic and it sells out every morning, which is bad for me because I never get one. A lot of the great pastries we have, we keep them very traditional. Our apple strudel, the Sacher cake, the Dobostorte, which is actually Hungarian. The sheen on it is just like glass. It has a nice crack when you eat it. Definitely the most visually appealing part of this structure is the roof because it's so dynamic. The original roof has 233,000 tiles on it. It has a zigzag pattern on it. I kept more traditional Christmas colors of red and green, and that became my zigzag pattern. It's put together with royal icing, which is powdered sugar, egg whites, and vinegar. Vinegar is kind of the secret hardening agent, which on a piece like this was something I definitely had to use because I wanted to keep it exactly like the Stephan's Dome, and the roof is basically like this. It's extremely steep, so to keep those sides from falling, it definitely had to be bound fairly quickly. The size of the Stephan's Dome is pretty large for this window. It's 24 inches in length and almost 36 inches high, which is pretty amazing because it's only 7 inches wide.
I'm going to hope and pray that I can get this in here.
I love what I do. I love going to other pastry shops. I love the pleasure of seeing what other people are doing, tasting other things. At the end of it, you're never satisfied. I think it's an artistic thing about this field that is I'm never satisfied with the completed product. I want it to be perfect every time.
The gingerbread tradition goes as far back as the 11th century in Europe, and from the very beginning, it's been associated with feasts and other special occasions. Thanks for joining us here at Winter Tour. Have a merry and bright holiday season. I'm Carol Masser. See you next weekend on Muse.